Hello and welcome to County Antrim in Northern Ireland, where anticipation is building for another weekend of high-speed and high-stakes motorcycle road racing. It's time for the Armoy Road Races.
So get out of my way, 'cause I'm a natural born fighter. I'm a natural born fighter.
Oh, here. Oh my goodness, there's nothing between them. That's too close, it's too close, it's too close. Michael Dunlop through into first place. Here he comes then. Yes! Michael Dunlop.
First established in 2009, the Armoy Road Race quickly gained notoriety and respect among fans and riders alike. So much so that every year, talent flocks to the paddock. Sadly, last year's dominant champion, Davey Todd, he's missing from the entry list, meaning the battle for the Armoy crown is more open than ever.
Coming back over here and then experience the raw Irish fans that makes it special for me. They always lean out, and don't matter where you finish, you could be finishing last, first, but they always wear their programmes at you and always commend you for going out there and putting on a show for them. So I think I appreciate that, and that's what makes me come back. You know, it's nice to see a big smile on everyone's face. Riding a BMW M1000RR in the Superbike class, or the open race and Race of Legends, riding the Triumph 765 in Supersport, and then Kawasaki Z650 in the Super Twin race.
In his first competitive year on the roads, Manxman Joe Yeardsley is a face of the future, making his Armoy debut.
I've been wanting to come here for 3 years, and coming from the Isle of Man, having to take 3 days off all the time, it's not been easy. So this year riding for an Irish team, it's given us the opportunity to do it, and it's been great. The track's unique and special, but I've never felt so welcomed by a club before, and they go out of the way to help you so much. It's fantastic. I'm riding the Scott Racing Motorcycles Aprilia Super Twin, the Super Stock bike with Scott Racing Motorcycles, and the Spinarena.net R6 Super Sport bike.
An intense challenge ahead for Joe Yeardsley in his first time on the Armoy Road Race circuit. This is where the riders will do battle. A tight and twisty course, lined with trees, fences and the enthusiastic public. Riders must contend with the lumps, bumps and several jumps that make up the course. Belaney Cross and Robbo's Corner in the village, they will be key overtaking zones across today's racing action, so keep an eye out there. And it all starts here with the first race of the event, the Super Twins. They're lining up on the grid. The sound of Super Twins coming to the grid at Armoy. Chris Boyd joins me in the commentary box. Looking forward to this one.
Oh, this should be an absolute cracker. We've got Paul Jordan on pole. He's joined by Michael Sweeney and Barry Ferber on the front row. Then Franco Bourne and Joey Thompson on row 2.
Newcomer Franco Bourne riding for the Cowton Racing Team. Jamie Coward, Joe Yeardsley, Neil Kernahan and Marcus Simpson, Manx rider, make up row 4 and the first wave away. 3 waves here. 3 waves, Chris Boyd. That's a lot of Super Twins, isn't it, eh?
Packed grid. We're away. Jordan makes a stop. Coward's coming down the outside, but Sweeney through the middle. Oh, he's on it here. I think Sweeney's going to have this into the Armoy home chicane for the first time. He is. Then Coward. Then Barry Ferber right up there in third.
We mentioned Franco Bourne at the start there. Newcomer here. You can see him with the orange bib on there. He's right about 5th place at the moment. And great to see that Cowton name back at the top of the Super Twin class. Near enough anyway. But here we go into the village, lap number 1. And look how good it is to see Jamie Coward. He showed glimpses of this at the Southern 100 a couple of weeks ago. Whoa, Michael Sweeney.
Right
Heavens above.
Wow.
God, Neil Kernahan though, just in behind Joe Yeardsley. And just to the left of Neil Kernahan there, that's Manxman Marcus Simpson.
Yeah, Kernahan coming off the 3rd row, and you can see how busy it is into Armoy Village and then up through the cuttings.
We've got Neil Kernan, as you quite rightly said, on board with him. He's on the Aprilia this year, changed the machine, only got it early on, over the jumps to go, in down towards Church Bends, this part of the circuit. As you can see from these aerial shots, it's beautiful. All the riders love this part. Then they go to the left-hand side of the tyre, and then it's flat to the mat for these machines on the twins, the Superbikes, the Super Sports. It's flat for the laggy dams first off, then through the jumps. They're heading through the dams here now, on board with Marcus Simpson, Joey Thompson on the TH racing machine, just in behind him, but more at the front. Michael Sweeney, wow, the Skerries man, he looks racy.
That jump is unbelievable, and then they go over Dunlop's Leap after that, and then they've got these jumps. This Laggy Road is sensational piece of road for road racing.
Dropping down onto the brakes, Blaney Cross, lap number 1 of 7, Barry Ferber. We've not really given him a mention yet. He's on the Yamaha, but Paul Jordan on the Jackson racing machine, the Aprilia for this year, slots into 4th. So it's Sweeney, we're on board with the Skerries man. He's had a good year so far, hasn't he?
Brilliant year, really getting himself right up there in the top echelon now. We're back with Neil Kernan, who's still chasing Marcus Simpson, the 26-year-old from Douglas on the Isle of Man.
Just gone past a very popular part there, that's called Taggart's Barn. It's a bar that they basically put in a barn, and all the locals, all the fans go there and watch the bikes going past them at 140 mile an hour with a pint in the hand. Fantastic. It's what road racing is about.
Kernan trying to make the move there, but just had to back out of that on Simpson as they went into the chicane.
Neil Kernan, very local man. So there we go after lap 1. Sweeney leads Coward from Ferber and Jordan and Bourne. Good show by that young man, Barry Ferber, bouncing in on the brakes. You can see the different changes in tarmac. You can look out for the grids as Paul Jordan as they exit Robbo's corner and they head up towards Atchison's Leap.
Ferber always goes so well in this class on the DC Autos Yamaha. Really good runner in the Super Twins, but Jordan's trying to move up, I think.
Yeah, I think Paul Jordan's got up to 3rd. He's got past Barry Ferber. He's on the red, white and blue machine, the Jackson racing colours of Paul Jordan. Of course, had success at the Northwest 200 on that machine, and he's looking good. Now we're behind a returning to form Jamie Coward as they go through the Church Bend section and now back onto that laggy road you love so much.
Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And Jamie Coward, it's great to have him back on form, but Jordan looks like he's pulling alongside here, trying to anyway.
Yeah, that's a move and a half if he makes that happen there. Paul Jordan sideways as he landed there. Now they're going to drop over to Dunlop Sleep, and that is so fast through there as well. The front wheel air rates, remember watching Davey Todd there last year getting in all sorts of shape, but Michael Sweeney at the front, a little bit of a gap, but Paul Jordan with the rear wheel as he squeezed that front brake hopping in the air, and the rest of them, Joe Yeardsley, Franco Bourne in there too. I'd say Joe Yeardsley finding a bit of form, and that's Joey Thompson on 74 just in behind them.
Slightly odd that Blaney cross, that curb stands out to you on the outside, but it's almost like a double left-hander almost.
It does, and there's a big curb on the exit. You've really got to watch out for that, but at the front, here we go, across the start and finish line, just over 3 miles. They kind of span out a little bit. Is Paul Jordan going to make a move this time? No. Michael Sweeney tidies it all up on the MJR Aprilia, and it's the Aprilia of the Jackson Racing Aprilia, should I say, of Jordan in behind him, and then we've got Barry Ferber on the Yamaha, and then we've got another machine, that of course is Jamie Coward. It is on the Kawasaki, on the orange machine there, on the KTS racing
Jordan
machine.
making the move. Jordan making the move.
What a move that is. That is tough into there, because the road surface is different on either side. The grids, you've just gone over one, and you've got to watch out. It's so bumpy.
Coming downhill off the leap and then getting the braking right for the village, then away up through the cuttings. Can he make this lead stick now? He's got himself to the front, has Paul Jordan. As you were saying, Chris, a winner at the Northwest 200, a podium at the TT. He's having quite the year on this Super Twin machine, the Jackson's bike.
Turner Robert, they've just gone through. Now they're at Church Bends, a very popular spot with the fans both sides of the road. They'll be cheering the Northern Irishman on, who's just ahead of the Southern Irishman. Then it's the 2 Englishmen in 3rd and 4th, and there's Manxman Joe Yeardsley, so every nationality covered there.
Yeardsley sticking with them as best he can as well. We've got a 2 and then a 2 now. This has developed into Ferber and Coward. Wow, that is so spectacular, that jump.
I'm just having a little look down the entry list. That's the only Yamaha in the entry as well, is the R7 machine of number 80, Barry Ferber, running out for a few years now. But at the front, Paul Jordan, Michael Sweeney, then of course it is Barry Ferber and Jamie Coward, your top 4 going down into Blaney Cross. Just look at that curb on the outside, look how big it is.
Yeah, it must be to the riders, it must be huge. To us it looks big, to them it's good. Lord, here's the overtake for the race lead.
Yeah, good stuff by Paul Jordan. Got it nice and settled. You've got to pick your line through there and cut it back in. Again, it's another one that comes back on you a little bit. You've got to watch out for the curb. And then as you head up through the middle there toward Etchison's Leap, it goes so narrow. But here we are into the chicane for... Oh, Michael Sweeney. How tight is that? Have you ever seen a chicane that tight? Wouldn't get a rally car through there, would you?
The opening races of the meeting, and look at what they're doing already. We're out onto lap 4, and you can see Jordan is piling on the pressure, trying to make the break if he can. He's got 0.6 of a second over Sweeney. He wants more than that. Oh, my word.
Joe Yeardsley better watch. You've got to watch out for the bumps. If you get too far on the right-hand side of the road, then near all the houses are next to the curb, it can get quite bumpy. But the Scott Racing Motorcycles, Aprilia Joe Yeardsley, shown well at the moment. He's running around 4th or 5th position and going well, getting some form back.
And he's ahead of the battle between Marcus Simpson and Neil Kernahan that's been running all race long, but Yeardsley is getting right on the pace here of the two in front of him.
Might be able to get a double slipstream as they go through the laggy for the 4th time. I think it is at number 4. Goes so quick, doesn't it, round here? But back in the front, well, you can just see the shot there, 74. That, of course, is Joey Thompson. Michael Sweeney goes through.
Ferber,
Goodness
wow.
me, and Ferber, I tell you what, he looks spectacular. It looks out of control, but it's in control. But up at the front, Paul Jordan. Then we got Michael Sweeney. Then we got Barry Ferber. Who's going to get that 3rd spot?
It's a big battle, isn't it? But up at the front, Jordan's on a huge charge here. He's extending that advantage over Sweeney. We're going to have to keep an eye on the lap times, I think, as they come through. Look at this battle for 3rd. This is a podium battle here. This is tremendous stuff.
Looked like he was going through a motocross, a whoop, whatever you call it. Barry Ferber there, he was right up on the curb. But here comes Joe Yeardsley. He's getting into the slipstream as they go across the start line to complete lap number 4.
Coward right with them as well. Coward in the middle there of the sandwich, if you like, but Yeardsley looks particularly racy at the back of this. It's just whether he can get the passes done.
And that's a new lap record for Paul Jordan on lap number 4. The old lap is 100.536, 100.694. He smashed it.
That is sensational. Jamie Coward did hold the lap record.
And where's Jamie Coward gone? Jamie Coward has disappeared. He's gone out of our shot there. So he's lost Jamie.
He's lost the lap record and he's lost his place in the race. Unfortunately for Jamie Coward, seems to be out of things. So that moves Yeardsley up to 4th. What can he do about Ferber now to try and get onto the podium in this opening Super Twin race?
And that knocks Joey Thompson on the 74 bike. Yeah, there he is, Jamie Coward in the village, stopping there by the road that takes you off to Ballantoy. He is out of the race. That's a big shame for him.
Real shame, because he was showing real pace there, and it's been great to see Jamie coming back and showing this pace.
We've got Lee McGavick there on number 3 machine. He's on his Aprilia this year, just being overtaken by Michael Sweeney on the 65. But Barry Ferber, he's got to get round Lee McGavick if he can. Love the paint scheme on Lee's machine. Lee knows they're there, pulls to the left-hand side, lets the 2 boys go off. Chris Boyd, they're out on lap number 5 already. This is just madness. It goes so fast, doesn't it?
The pace is incredible. It's just a shade over 3 miles, this course, and it's just got everything. It is an absolutely fantastic course for road racing up here in the north.
Looking at the front though, Paul Jordan out on the final lap. They are now Paul Jordan well away with it, with Michael Sweeney in the 2nd place. But it's the battle we'll concentrate on, with Joe Yeardsley using all the curb and all the rumble strips, whatever you want to call it. But Barry Ferber, you know, a lot of experience under that helmet. I think Barry Ferber could hold him off here.
And they've developed this Yamaha, as you've been saying. They've had this for a few years now, and they've developed it along the way. But here comes Yeardsley.
Yeah, Joe backing it in, Barry backing it in as well on the DC Autos machine. Runs a little bit wide again. Joe cuts it a little bit tighter, heading uphill there. Gets so narrow there through Etchison's Leap, and then head towards Turner Roberts.
He's definitely closer.
He is. Oh, he is. Absolutely. Right into Church Bends. This is where he's got the run, because it is quite a long run. Even though it's really narrow, there's a little corner at the top of it, at the Dunlop Sleeve. If he can get close enough in that slipstream, at the front it's Jordan and it's Sweeney. Those two are pretty safe, home and hose. But these two...
It's just on a mile long, this Lager Road, and look at that. Oh, it's fantastic. I love watching this.
Dunlop Sleep is next, Boydie. Dunlop Sleep. So there we go. Oh, we got a lot of back markers coming up. Anthony McGolgan in there. He's going to be snapped up by Michael Sweeney. First off, Joe Yeardsley's look around the outside. If he makes that move, I tell you what, the Laxey man. What a move by Joe Yeardsley, getting himself up to 3rd place. Oh, and nearly getting a small high side. Paddy McGolgan's just been taken by Michael Sweeney on the 65, but Joe Yeardsley, what a move.
Is that going to allow Ferber to try and come back at all? There's traffic getting in the way as well. It's a win though for the Macrofelt man. Paul Jordan takes victory.
2nd place will be across the line, Michael Sweeney. That lap record, of course, of Paul Jordan, 100.694.
What's happening in this battle?
And it's Joe Yeardsley. Joe Yeardsley, the Manxman, on his debut around the Armoy circuit. He takes 3rd with Barry Ferber in 4th. What a race.
A sensational podium for Joe Yeardsley, but up front it's Paul Jordan winning for the Jackson team. Michael Sweeney in 2nd on the MSR Aprilia. Then behind the Yeardsley it's Ferber, Thompson and Simpson rounding out the top 6.
Still can't really believe it, to be honest. It was the little bike's been fantastic all year, and at the 700 we managed to get a few other issues out the way, and the bike's fantastic. So no, it was great to come here and get a podium.
Get on the podium is always a good start in the first race, so we'll just try better on for the races later on and tomorrow. But yeah, I just got away in the front of that and I thought I could lead it. I knew Paul's pace was strong from qualifying, but I knew if we had got in front I wouldn't be able to go with it for some reason. I don't know why. It's the same bike I've rode all year, so maybe it's just me and the circuit, I don't know, just not clicking that much properly. But Paul rode fantastic. I just couldn't go with his pace, and that was it. I just done the best I could do.
Yeah, hopefully that's the start of something for the rest of the weekend. So every time we go out the bike, we're making improvements. To be honest, that's the best that Super Twins ever felt. Even coming back from the TT and having to win the Northwest, I believe that's twice the bike I rode there. So yeah, if we can keep improving on the bike, I believe next year will be a lot better for us.
So Paul Jordan kicks the event off with a bang, a race win and the fastest lap. Join us again after the break to see if he can continue where he left off. Welcome back to the Armoy Road Races, where Supersport machinery, they're getting ready to do battle. Time for the Supersports to make the way to the grid. The next generation's in there as well, up to 754 strokes. And of course, the Ducati twins, and there's one right in the middle of the front row, Connor Cummins.
With Mike Brown and Paul Jordan either side of him. Row 2 is Dominic Herbertson and Michael Sweeney.
Yeah, Dominic, good to see him back at Armoy. And of course, we've got Jamie Coward, Franco Bourne, Barry Ferber, row 3. And row 4, the young Manxman Joe Yeardsley on his Yamaha. Here we go, though. Chris Boyd.
Oh, hot for Connor Cummins there. Is that going to allow Brown to get past him on the run down to the Armoy home chicane?
They're all looking for a little gap that's possibly not there. Is he going to make it? Connor goes, ooh, right up the curb on the inside for Connor. Sliding into third place is Michael Sweeney, with a little look there, of course, at Barry Ferber, but Mikko Sweeney, the Skerries man, on the R6. So it's a Yamaha leads, it's a Ducati second, and a Yamaha third, but Sweeney's building, quite literally the EM building Yamaha, dropping down to the village, lap number 1 of 7.
Inside of Connor Cummins and makes it stick in the run through the village at Robbo's. Paul Jordan behind in 4th. There he is.
Yeah, Paul Jordan's got a pretty good start as well. He looked to go well on the Jackson Racing 600cc Honda machine. It looks like he's getting up the inside of Connor. Yes, he is, as they drop down to Turner Robert, lap number 1. Then they flick to the left-hand side over the jump. The front wheel comes up, and then they have to square the bike up, then flick it to the left again, then straighten it up again, go to the other side of the road and head towards Church Bends.
Great course this, just a constant challenge for the riders as it's Brown out front from Sweeney.
Yeah, these two, they've been bumping fair runs all through the national scene and on the international scene as well at the Northwest Running. But let's watch the start now for Joe Yeardsley. Good start by Joe, and a big hole there for Joe. Got himself up to round about 5th position, nearly alongside Paul Jordan. But there's Franco Bourne at 154 on the County Racing machine. He's in about, there he is in 5th place, in behind Connor Cummins as a newcomer.
Amazing over the jumps, absolutely superb watching. Brown, though, at the front from Sweeney, then Jordan, then Cummins, and then, as you say, Franco Bourne, who's been impressing pretty much everywhere he's been. He's an almost total newcomer to road racing.
Absolutely. Just in behind them is Joe Yeardsley, and we've got Barry Ferb and Jamie Coward in there as well. Early days for Jamie back after, of course, his big spill at the Northwest 100, but showing a good bit of form at the Southern 100.
He's building, isn't he? Building his way back into it all the way through. He spent all winter putting together a package of bikes under him that he said were his best ever. Then he went and had the crash at the Northwest, and now he's having to start again whilst everybody else is well into their season, including Mike Brown here at the front. 2
Yamahas first and second, then it's a Honda, then it's Ducati, so it's Paul Jordan holding on to that 3rd position at the moment. Connor Cummins just in behind him. You just hear him short shifting there as he went to go towards McGuckin's corner and dropping downhill now into the village. Big crowd in here by the Armada pub, Chris.
Yeah, huge crowds.
Michael Sweeney with a rear wheel up in the air. He cut that tight. That's a really tight line Mikko had. He was really close to the walls like Church Bends on the Southern 100 course.
Sweeney was looking at Brown. Jordan was looking at Sweeney. Everybody's looking really racy here.
They are. Here we go over the top of the hill. You can just see there from the drone shot that the front wheel just goes light as you go over the top there. Now you've got to watch for all the little bits around here, the white lines, the grids, the changes of tarmac. It's a great 3-mile circuit, this is.
It's brilliant. They've had all day qualifying and practice as they've gone on. Now they get to do it for real.
Let's look at some of pace they're on at the moment in the 104s at the moment. So that's pretty good pace lap record for the Supersports, Chris. Is round about a 142, so about 1.2 off that at the moment.
Yeah, Michael Dunlop, of course, holding that Supersport lap record, but Brown out front here and Sweeney as they all do the leaps. It's impressive. It really is impressive how these bikes just land, plant and go.
Franco Bourne, got to be impressed with that young man. Round about 5th position on the County Racing Machine. Great to see that name back on the roads also. The County name, we remember James with fondness, don't we?
Very much so, absolutely. It's brilliant to have the team still putting all of their efforts into bringing young riders through on the grid, and especially at the very top end of the field here as Jordan makes a move. Jordan's pushing up the inside here. Sweeney's going to have to maybe think twice.
No, doesn't make that stick. You can just watch in the front wheel of Jordan there now as he was pushing onto that front brake. You can see the front tyre start to spread out a little bit. He was putting more and more pressure onto that tyre, but he decided best of it.
So Brown out front, and now Jordan has closed right in on Sweeney here, who we are with.
Yeah, Paul will be looking for a little bit more from that little 600 just to get past Mikko, but Mikko, of course, has been in the Irish roads already this year at Tandragee, and a pretty reasonable Southern 100 he did, but he will be looking, of course, to get on the podium, get a possible first podium of the weekend.
A big weekend, possibly, for Michael Sweeney, because he's been right at the forefront in qualifying in all these classes. He just needs to translate that now into race pace, and he's doing that. He's sticking ahead of Jordan at the moment.
And you can see the shift change lights on the reflection in his crash helmet as well there. It was hitting red for a little bit of moment there. Oh. It'll hit red there as it revs out going over the top of that hill. Incredible.
Both wheels totally off the ground, and then again for the front wheel off over Dunlop's leap as they run down into the hairpin once again.
As Conor Cummins came over the top of that, I actually involuntarily moved in my seat as well to try and straighten the bike up. Michael Sweeney ran a little bit deep there. I thought Paul might have had a bit of a chance to catch up with him.
He might get a run up the hill here, up through Kennedy's. Let's have a look. See, does he close in at all on that Jackson Racing Honda? Here he comes, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a great run. This like North West 200. There's some station down, but no, through Matty Benny, no, it's not. He doesn't get that right. Michael Sweeney second, Paul Jordan in third, Conor Cummins in that fourth place. But at the front, Mike Brown running a good bar. Here we go. That's a shame. Joe Yeardsley out of about 6th to 7th place. The Yamaha Spinarena.net machine, a retirement for the young Manxman. Oh, Michael Sweeney, do you know what? He's a roadsman. He does not mind the bike doing that at all. He likes to feel the bike moving under him. But Mike Brown at the front on the 16 bike, he's got this one in the back. But here we are into Blaney Cross for the final time. Michael Sweeney 65, 22 Paul Jordan. He's letting off that brake, just letting it run in a little bit hot. Maybe cut it in tight, and then we've seen on the last lap how he could try and get underneath him onto that final start-finish corner.
Another go on the power for Jordan. Can he get closer this time? Right up on Sweeney. This was where he closed right in on the last lap. He's just doing it again. They're going out onto the final lap. Can he have a look? I don't think he can. Not close enough. No, Sweeney continues to hold on to that second place, so the next big breaking point will be down into the village. It's a fantastic scrap these two are having for this second place.
Yeah, away with it is Mike Brown at the front. I was just waiting to see what was going to happen there, whether Paul was going to take had a bit of a pregnant pause as they came into the chicane. I thought, don't Paul, don't you dare try and stick that up the inside. But do you know what? That's the tightest I've seen Paul Jordan take that corner. He's normally round that grid. He was really inside there now, trying to get that power on hard.
Can he try and get alongside Sweeney, at least show him a wheel, maybe force a mistake anywhere as they head out down into Turner Roberts and then on out through Church. Sweeney's handling this pressure really well at the moment.
Yeah, he ran with Michael Dunlop in Tandragee a couple of weeks ago, well, a couple of months ago as it was now, just before the North West 200, so you know he can run the pace. But here we go. Look how tight this is. You mentioned it. Listen, you wouldn't want to try and get a coach down there. Look how tight it is. This is the Laggy Dams. Then we're on the jump right about there. Wow, Michael Sweeney. That is all action style. That made you sit up, didn't it?
Just a little bit, yeah. Good grief. And there's traffic as well ahead of them.
Yeah, Stevie Degnan, that is the number 43 by Conor Cummins, getting all racy in behind. So Stephen Degnan's going to get a wake-up call. This is not the ideal spot to catch Stephen. He's having his own race. He knows they're there. He pulls to that side of the track. Paul Jordan gets past him as well. But Michael Sweeney made a great move there. But Stephen, a lot of experience on those shoulders. He'll know exactly those boys were there.
Jordan doesn't look as close this time. Mike Brown takes the victory on the Russell Racing Machine. But what's going to happen in this battle for second? Jordan didn't look as close, but he comes. Oh, that was close. I think Sweeney maybe just held it. He did. So
wow,
Brown,
100th.
Really close. Brown then takes victory on the BPE by Russell Racing Yamaha from Sweeney and Jordan. Conor Cummins beats Jamie Cowie to 4th. Then Franco Bourne rounds out the top 6.
Then there's Barry Ferber, Kevin Keys, Joey Thompson and Erno Costomo, your top 10.
Yeah, look, it's nice. bit sketchy there at the start. There was a few drops of rain. We weren't sure what it was going to do, but everyone seemed to keep going, so it was good. No, pretty straightforward. I saw Cummins on my right hand side just come into the first chicane there. I thought it might have been a bit close, but I looked back once or twice and I knew I pulled away, so I was happy enough. The grids are very tight here at the weekend, so it's good to see it's real proper racing.
Yeah, it was a good race. I kind of sat with Mike for 2 laps. I thought I could run with him, and then on the 3rd lap I was just talking to him there. He said he was just sizing up the conditions, so yeah, he just pulled a pin on the 3rd lap and just couldn't go with him, so I had the whole race on the whole off Paul Jordan, so which I managed to do, so I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, it's nice to get the podium again. You know, it's could have been nicer to be a step up, but it is what it is. A bit of backmarkers played a bit of part in that, so at least tomorrow I'll get away with Mike and try and let Mike drag me away from the whole carry on behind, so yeah.
Congratulations, Mike Brown, on a terrific Supersport race win. After the break, a bit of nostalgia with the classic Superbikes. So far here at Armoy, Paul Jordan and Mike Brown have exchanged blows on Super Twins and Supersports. But now it's time for some classic Superbike action with the likes of Sam West and Andy Farrell will be showing us what they are made of.
Time for one of my favourite classes of the weekend, the ABO Energy Classic Superbikes, and Andy Farrell, or Farrell, whatever you want to call it, he's on pole position, former Manx Grand Prix winner and 2-time winner around here in the past. Good to see him back at the Armoy races.
Brilliant for the Scaries man. He's on pole from Sam West and Billet Crow. Paul Marley and Andy Hornby form row 2.
Yeah, Andy Hornby with 3 wins around here as well. Good to see Sam, as you quite rightly say. Matt Stevenson, the old stager, Paul Cranston, Christian Diddelaw, and of course Dennis Booth. They had some great battles at the Summer 100, didn't they? But here we go. All important the start here with these classic Superbikes. Not a good start for Sam West in the middle, but I think a good start by number 42, Andy Hornby. But he's got, no, I tell you what, I think Sam West has got a good start. Sam West has dropped the second. Andy Farrell in third, Paul Marley at 175, then it's 164 in there. Matt Stevenson on his GSXR 750. I love classic Superbikes. Here we go.
Second phase of the start here. Watch that yellow bike. Paul Cranston, the 66-year-old, just getting a little bit left behind off the start. But West really made the second phase of that start work. He's right behind Hornby now as Marley makes a move on Farrell.
Yeah, Paul Marley from Scarborough, of course, and here comes Paul Cranston, showing his experience on these Irish roads. I mean, you like to think back how many laps he's done around this. And remember, Irish Road Race champion in 1982. I was just at high school.
And a winner at the recent Sub 100 meeting after all these years.
How fantastic was that to see? But Andy Farrell, he's not giving up here now. He knows the roads. He's had a few big offs last couple of years, as Andy. But yeah, he rode well at the pre-TT on that big Ducati as well. And good to see him back on the roads. But look, I think that's the slick tyre that Matt Stevenson, a 164 on the GSXR 750, has gone on. But Paul Cranston just in behind him. He's on the Kawasaki ZXR 750.
The sea conditions are far from perfect here. There's damp patches pretty much everywhere. Over the jumps they go. Sam West, then Andy Farrell, then Paul Marley.
I think just in behind them looked like Christian Diddelaw, I think, on the number 146 machine, or Diddelaw, to give it the correct pronunciation.
Diddelaw going well then as they come down into Blaney Cross for the first time. Hornby and West together at the front, just gingerly through in the conditions. West running a little bit wide there.
How iconic is that shape of the 916 or the 996 Ducati? But interesting to see in yellow. They're normally in red, aren't they?
They are, as we see with Farrell, and it does look resplendent, that Farrell machine, doesn't it? But it's Hornby out front on the Kawasaki.
Yeah, when you see that number 7 machine, just reminds you of Carl Fogarty when he was riding his machine. Michael Rutter rode a yellow Ducati for the McCulloch team at the TT many moons ago, but it's a Kawasaki up front at the moment. The Projects Kawasaki, the Express racing machine. It is, of course, Andy Hornby, who knows how to win races round here. He's won 3 already. That looked like Sam West just having a little look up the inside.
Showing a wheel, that's for sure. He's going to make a stick. No, he doesn't make a stick. And West runs on. Well, he made it a bid for the lead there, and it's all gone a bit wrong for him.
I think that's going to have to be an 85 million point turn in the bottom there. He won't pass his driving test on that one. We just watch him there squeeze the front brake. He knew it was going. That's the worst feeling in the world, Christian. You pull your front brake on, whether you're racing or on the road, that's the worst feeling ever. You can feel it going and you're hoping as you let it off it grips again, and it did.
Cranston then with Matt Stevenson alongside him for company, and
West
trying to make his way back through.
goodness me. Oh, he had to go down the box there as well, just to get the drive again. So the ZXR Kawasaki on board with Cranston, but there goes Sam West. Wow, that's night and day, isn't it? Goodness me. Oh, and Matt Stevenson goes to result. Did Paul miss a gear or something? Anyway, back at the front, Andy Hornby leads. Not for long, no. Not for long at all. Skerry's man right out wide through Kennedy's. It's the 888 Ducati, the CK racing machine of Andy Farrell.
Farrell absolutely blew past there on the run up through Kennedy's and into the chicane just after the start finish. He's going really nicely. You've still got to be ginger through the chicane, stay off the curbs. It's still too wet to be trying to run over those curbs. Farrell then and Hornby together at the front.
Just behind him is 175 Paul Molly. Like all classic racing, you've got to be gentle with these things. You can ring them a bit, but you've got to be really, really careful with it because they can mechanically go wrong at any moment now. But here comes Andy Hornby on the brakes into the village on lap number 3. 88 Farrell leads, 42 Hornby, then it's 175 in there, Paul Marley. Roddy Taylor going well, the number 2 bike as well. And Christian Diddlot, as we mentioned, and Matt Stevenson, Keith Pringle, Paul Cranston, Neil Rutledge, Corin Smith, Darren Duncan and James Rothery all going well.
So much experience at the front of the field in these conditions as well. 48-year-old Andy Farrell and 53-year-old Andy Hornby. No shortage of classic racing experiences. We're back on board with the man with the most experience of all, and that's Paul Cranston.
Absolutely. Dennis Boo's not far behind him as well. 151 is the classic Superbike lap record. They're doing about 158, 158, 159 today.
Oh, who's that going through the middle?
That's Christian Diddlot, that is. It looked like to me. Anyway, that's a great move if he's made that stick. We'll get that confirmed in a minute with a long shot, but goodness me, where did he come from? Couple of laps to go, lapping a bit now it is into the village. 2.5 seconds for Al's leaders. That's huge, isn't it? From Hornby, then it's Marley, West and Taylor. Sam West is on a charge, so don't forget he went straight on at that corner 3 or 4 laps ago.
Yeah, West has just done the fastest lap of the race, a 158.2 on that 5th lap. So West is coming back at these guys, but he dropped an awful lot of time with that overshoot.
He'll be really, really mad with himself. Let's see what he can do then. He's got about another 4 or 5 seconds to catch up on these guys, but tell you what, that was 2.5 seconds. That's not 2.5 seconds, that's probably about 1.5 seconds now as they go out onto the laggy dams and the jumps for the final, well, no, a lap to go, lap and a bit to go, about 1.5 laps to go. It is here now.
Lots of them setting up these classic superbikes ready for the classic TT that's upcoming, but at the moment
there's Paul Marley. Oh, that's a disaster for the Scarborough man, running so well on the 175, but unfortunately he is out for him.
Real disappointment. So Farrell is out front from Roddy Taylor and Matt Stevens.
Hang on, there you are, Andy Farrell. Mistake, either a mistake or can't get gears or something, going out to Bellany Cross, so I'm sorry to jump over you there, Chris, but Farrell is now back to second, Hornby back front.
Hornby now the race leader. It's changing all the time, Hornby, but here comes Farrell on the run in towards the chicane. He has
quick,
a look.
Isn't it? That is quick, that Ducati. Andy had to really pile the coals on there. Here we go then. I think Andy's got his foot's out. He has a look over the shoulder. Andy had to drop back a bit. Andy Hornby, that is, not Andy Farrell. They're on the last lap. They're going round there, Dean's Rise now, dropping down into the village. Goodness me, 2.5 seconds the lead was at the end of the last lap.
Here comes Hornby then on the run into the village.
Oh, where's he going, Andy Hornby? Oh, straight on. Oh, goodness me. And I think the rider is okay. But Andy Hornby, unfortunately, off into the village here, just seemed to lose the front. Andy Farrell, I think, heard him skidding alongside him, and the rider, thankfully, is okay. That is the good news, and there he is.
Yes.
You can see him taking his gloves off. Goodness me, but back at the front of the race.
Well, the CK Racing version of Andy Farrell was so lucky not to be taken out in that near shunt, and well, he avoids it. He takes the checkered flag. It's victory for Andy Farrell. A dramatic classic superbike race.
Sam West in second, Roddy Taylor in third, Kristen Diddlow, Matt Stevenson, Keith Pringle, Paul Cranston, Neil Rutledge, Corin Smythe and Darren Duncan rounding out an exciting classic superbike top 10.
Yeah, look, I'm delighted to be here. It's great to get a win around Armoy, and massive thanks to Chris Kay and all the boys here that are with me. You know, I enjoyed it. I like this bike. You know, it's not too bad.
After the break, we swap classic machines for the cutting edge in the open race as riders prepare for the big one. Welcome back. Up next is the open race, the perfect opportunity for riders to show their form before the grand finale, the race of legends.
Paul Jordan with his quickest ever lap around Armoy. He was in qualifying at 141.9. You can just see a few damp bits on the road there. He's on pole, but a 600.
Big names to the fore. Mike Brown and Connor Cummins join Jordan on the front row, then Michael Sweeney and Jamie Coward.
Row number 3, we got Philip Crow. Good to see Phil back on the Irish roads. Marcus Simpson and Franco Bourne. And Uno Costomo, the Finnish rider, on row number 4. Here we go. Notice there that Paul Jordan has switched to the 600 in these slightly iffy conditions. We're going to see as we go around the track, but it rained a little bit. But at the front, I think look how wet it is there. Into the chicane. Oh, somebody going right up on the curb and somebody dropping way back. But I think it's Michael Sweeney who's got the lead from Connor Cummins.
Mike Brown, we are behind Cummins at the moment as we make the drop down into the village for the first time. Get the braking right in these conditions where there's been showers coming through and the road does look a bit dryish.
Oh, Connor Cummins going straight on there. I think Connor kind of maybe got a little bit banjaxed by Mike Brown, I think possibly, that ran him straight on because he was really close to him. So Connor's going to have to sit there now and just wait. Wonder what happened to, hopefully we'll get a replay of that. So I think we might get a replay of this. We're on board with Connor there now, and here comes Mike Brown. Oh, I tell you what, they were close, weren't they? Goodness me, that was Mike Brown on Connor Cummins. And Erno Costomo, Paul Jordan, Jamie Coward also there as well. Jamie shown well once more.
Yeah, back on the big bikes as well. You can see how damp it is here on this shot in particular as Sweeney, the race leader, heads down with Mike Brown going down after him as well. Oh, get the braking there was this northern part of the course where the rain showers really did hit, so this is where it's at its wettest, and you can see them spinning up. Wow,
spinning up in 4th, 5th and 6th gears. That's not much fun on a 220, 240 brake horsepower Superbike. And Mike Brown got that rear wheel moving around, and he was having a little move as he looked across towards the start line. But look at that finish rider Costomo, he's running really well in 3rd place.
He loves the wet though, Costomo, doesn't he? We've seen that before when there's been wet races at Imatra in particular. As you say, he is the rain master out there in Finland, and look how pacey he's looking.
He certainly is. He's looking at Mike Brown there as they go across the top of Dean's Rise and dropping down into the village. And could we see a Finnish rider get to the front? Maybe. Oh, he's gone up to 2nd anyway. So it's Ireland, Southern, Finland, and Ireland, Southern again. 1, 2, 3.
Costomo on the RBS Motorsport BMW. Oh, Brown doesn't want to let that last long. Brown blasts back past him up to 2nd place.
And of course Mike only getting that machine the week before the Southern 100 a couple of weeks ago, so that's Paul Cassidy's former machine that he's on there. Then of course the Honda Fireblade, it is on board now with Paul Jordan on the 600cc machine. That is of course the Jackson racing bike. He opted to swap from the big bike,
and that is a disadvantage, you would think. Maybe not at the moment, but certainly as we get later into the race, if conditions start to dry out a little bit, only being on the Super Sport against the full Superbike and Super Stock machines will give him a little bit of a disadvantage in horsepower terms.
Oh, Michael Sweeney absolutely aerated it, drifted towards the right-hand part of the track, and this is the dampest part of the track. Jumping down towards the Dunlop Leaps, keeping the bike nice and steady. Oh, the rear wheel of Michael Sweeney kicked to the right, but his fellow countryman up the inside. Mike Brown gets to the front.
Going to come out from behind a chair yet, over the jumps in these conditions. Good grief, amazing skill from these riders.
See Mike there sitting up, getting the bike on the fat part of the tyre just to get as much traction as you can, and look how wet it is, you can see there. But here comes Costomo again on that machine. Oh, I tell you what, that's a move and a half.
Whoa, foot off the peg there slightly. Whoa.
Steady on, old chap, steady on. Costomo on the BMW though, so it's a Honda from a BMW, from a Honda from a BMW, top 4. Round about 5th at the moment, we've got Jamie Coward in there, Neil Kernahan shown well, and Connor Cummins battling back from that run on at the Armoy Village on lap 1.
Jordan looking like he's possibly feeling in his own mind he's made the right decision here to take the Super Sport machine. Just assess conditions. The big race is still to come. Costomo right down the inside into the village.
Look how dry it is into there compared to 2 miles up the road. How wet it is.
Unbelievable, isn't it? That is literally where the showers came through. They hit parts of the course and not other parts, and parts of the course just dry out really quickly.
Yeah, it's big tarmac, it is. Big tarmac with big stones in it. So Brown leads Sweeney, leads Jordan, your top 3. And we've got Costomo in there. That was across the line, but Costomo has got himself back up into that 3rd position. The Finnish rider, of course, had a pretty good Southern 100. Oh, he's gone wide. Oh, that's it. Oh, he's down. Oh, he's down into church, but he's all right. Costomo is all right. I did think he ran a bit deep just under that tree there now, but the Finnish rider is thankfully fine.
Just overshot that slightly, so it is Sweeney and Brown up front, and then Paul Jordan in behind in the podium terms, and then this is the battle behind that.
That's Neil Kernahan, I can see. There's Kevin Keys. I think somebody just overtaken, and possibly Sam West. I think we're on board with Sam shown well. Good to see Sambone showing a little bit of form as well. Conditions not perfect for these big superbikes, is it? But a big crowd, Chris Boyd. I mean, your first time watching this place, incredible, isn't it?
The crowd is amazing. absolutely. But it's the heartland of road racing in Northern Ireland, this, isn't it, Armoy? This is where it's all about. That's Kernahan coming down the outside.
Another big man on the charge as well, just behind Neil Kernahan. They're very similar in height and stature. Is 11. Connor Cummins from that run on at the village in the first lap there. So Connor Cummins cuts the BMW up the inside. It's Kevin Keys he's going to go for next. Connor up to round about 4th or 5th place at the moment.
These three are having a right good scrap, aren't they? Up at the front, Brown, Sweeney and Brown are out front at the moment.
Just over the jumps there now as he drop down towards Turner Robert and into Church Bend. You've got to be so careful and you've got to get your line right, because under the trees there are the damp bits. But here he goes, Connor Cummins. That will be Neil Kernahan from just down the road in Ballymoney. He's just got past him there now. So Connor, this is where he ran straight up, but again just seems to be struggling to stop it. But he stopped it well there, didn't he? So the BMW gets ahead of Kernahan's Yamaha.
Cut that back and didn't give Kernahan any chance to come back as they went up through the cuttings. So that'll be the battle for 5th place, still raging between those three as we head out onto another lap of this incredible Armoy circuit.
Yeah, McGuckin's corner, he's just gone round there, and this part of the circuit here now is dropping down towards Dean's Rise over the top of the hill. The front wheel will go light, there it goes, and you've got to watch there now. You get the 30-mile-an-hour zone. They're not doing 30, then they'll cut the bike to the right hand side, get a wide sweep through the corner, so it kind of just cuts back on you a little bit. And the MJR BMW and Michael Sweeney with a pretty steady second at the moment.
Behind Mike Brown, of course, who's right out front. Brown from Sweeney, from Paul Jordan, and then in behind that we've got Jamie Coward, and then we've got the battle between Kernahan and Cummins.
That's a great battle for Neil. Well done for Neil, local man who knows the circuit well. He's won round here, I think, about 3 times before, so Neil certainly knows his stuff. In fact, Neil's a big guy. He won round here on a 250.
Wow. Impressive stuff as well by race leader Mike Brown and Sweeney that we see there in second. Brown, of course, on this Russell Racing Honda that they are literally just developing now, from new almost, aren't they?
Yeah, they got it off Paul Cassidy, like I said, just before the Southern 100, so it is a pretty good bike. It's an ex-Dean Harrison machine, so he knows. But look, you can just start to see it kind of drying out a bit into Blaney Cross. Definitely not dry enough for slicks yet, but Paul Jordan definitely made the right choice for the 600 Jackson machine, didn't he?
He's looking very, very composed on that bike. These big bikes are still spinning up, as you'll see here. Oh, look at that. Whoa. But Jordan will have less power to be trying to deliver. He'll be able to deliver it more smoothly, and that is helping him keep that 3rd place at the moment as Brown does come up through the start finish onto the last lap. He has set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:47.2 on lap 5.
Yeah, 101 just about for Mike Brown. Watching now Michael Sweeney come out of Blaney Cross and kind of counter-steering the bike as the rear wheel was trying to spin away, just counter-steering the bike, using his body weight just to settle the bike down. Other riders going well. Michael Garn's around about 10th at the moment. James Chalk, good to see Chalky, number 10. He's around about 8th place as well. But Mike Brown into the village final time. Looks in control of this one, doesn't he?
Sam West as well, the Englishman, having a good run just outside of the top 6 at the moment. As you say, Brown is up front. Behind him, Sweeney, who's somebody who suddenly we are now seeing in contention in every race he lines up in, aren't we? He's made a real breakthrough this year.
He has, absolutely, and all those injuries and stuff that he had from obviously the Northwest 200 crash and getting himself fit and well again, and the confidence is back again for the man. Whenever you go into his awning and have a quick chat with him, as we watch Mike Brown go through Church Bends onto the laggy dams and the jumps for the final time, and you go in there, the crack is mighty, as they say, in his awning.
Now he's got this big bike, he'd be wishing the season was just starting with all the big races still to come, wouldn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, that's so planted, that Honda. It really, really is. Over Dunlop Sleep, there he goes, the rear wheel just trying to aerate, the front wheel still shaking a little bit, and I'm pretty sure he will have a board to tell him. He's got around about 4 or 5, 6 second lead at the moment, but he's looked pretty good when he gets to the front. But that little move on Connor Cummins at the start, that was tight, wasn't it? Look at this, watch the way he's counter steering, see what he's doing there now, just getting the real look at him.
Shaking all the way up the hill on the acceleration, and then up through Kennedy's and over the start finish line he will come.
Yeah, across the line he will come to take another win around the Armoy circuit. For that man there, it's number 16 Mike Brown on the Honda from Michael Sweeney. Then it's Paul Jordan, Jamie Coward and Neil Kernahan.
Connor Cummins takes 6th from Sam West, James Chalk, Kevin Keys, and rounding out the top 10, Michael Garn.
It was dry like 80% of it, and then bone wet for 20%, so it was kind of trying to manage the tyre in the dry, and I'd say it got too hot. It wasn't even working in the wet, to be honest, so it was just a mess, like. But no, it was good to get the race done, and well done to the organisers, because it's very tricky with the weather.
Mike Brown yet again shows his form around the Armoy Road Race course and provides an insight into the race of legends. Sadly though, that's all the racing action we have time for, but do join us next time for highlights of that and more.